Okay, coming over the mountain, over Cowley, we have Dr. Michael Murray from Jackson County, Superintendent of Jackson County Schools.
It's an honor and privilege to be able to stand in front of you and discuss this topic. Chris had sent out a little email last week, and I picked it up on Friday, so I didn't plan a major speech for you, but number one, Macon County is very important to us because we're all Western North Carolina school systems, and we're all rolling up our sleeves and we're working together. I'm extremely pleased to be working with you, new superintendent, and this is my third year in Jackson County. I followed Sioux Nations, who was like Fawn Aunt B in Mayberry, so ultimately tried real hard to make some changes. Even though we had a wonderful school system, I'm wanting a great school system. And as we're trying to be progressive in a very difficult time, it is inspiring that we're getting all the local support that we're getting. And everybody made me feel real welcome when I came tonight. Thank you. And I've met a lot of retired educators out here. And again, on your backs and the hard work that you've done for years, we are not a broken system. We're winning every day as far as the battle of educating children, making them globally competitive, and watching them get the confidence and the skills they need. And we're teaching all God's children, which a lot of the other privates and others out there can't say. They're all benefit to us. We're privileged to work with everybody's child. My dad is a Baptist minister and has been for 30 years in a place called Madison County. And ultimately, I worked with Patsy Kiever for several years in Bunker. This is my third school system and 30 years in public education. And I will tell you, in all that time, I've never been as downhearted with the support we're getting as far as state support and federal support stepping away from public education. And I know you feel the same way because a lot of you are retired and you're seeing that they're charging you for your health insurance. They're doing things that they've never said they would do. They're taking away the tenure. Again, 2018 tenure will be no more. And I was a principal that promised my folks, we can't give you a raise. We can't even tell you that you're doing a great job without some criticism out there. And we were froze for years on career ladder. And now they're telling us that property right that I proudly offered folks, and we're not getting paid enough anyway, it can be taken away in 2018. And what's worse, now as your superintendent and myself and the other superintendents all have to decide who to give the contracts to after 2018, and we can only pick 25%. That's the most divisive, underhanded attack on public education that has ever come across my career in 30 years. And I've seen that. We ought to everyone lock arms and tell them just to keep it. That we don't. And as far as I'm concerned, the first lawsuit. First lawsuit that comes out in 2018, they're going to be backing up at that so quick it'll make your head swim. And I'm telling you, our people deserve that. So when it comes right, and again, Daddy being a preacher, I try not to get into that kind of mode, so I'll tone it down. But I was telling folks the other day, I said, I've never worked with more dedicated people in public education. We have taken it for years and made it work for them, and then turn right around when you need it the most, they step away. So I'm telling you, from somebody that's been in this a long, long time, that's a sad state of affairs, and we can't let it happen. And as we look at making those decisions, I know for a fact, in Jackson County, I was luckier than Macon. We had a pretty good sized fund balance that, not Mike Murray, don't get me wrong, I'm not that great a manager. Those folks for years saved money and did their best, including Sioux Nations I mentioned earlier, and we had a healthy fund balance. I looked at the commissioners and said, we will not lose one TA. My teacher assistants are extremely valuable in my organization. They truly lower that class size, and people can say what they want. It's the number of class teachers and the number of adults per child that make the biggest difference for us. And I didn't lose a soul. We lost 11 teaching positions in funding. We lost $270,000 worth of TAs, and we didn't lay one person off in Jackson County, and they're all still employed. And we're going to do that for a full year. The secret, again, is the advocate for children, which every person in this room that believes in public education knows that's what it's all about. We advocate for children. They can give vouchers, they can do whatever they want to do, but at the end of the day, the people that love their children are public school educators who really have never made a fortune, but they at least were able to make a living. Now they can't. So just keep in mind, I did lose a principal too. I lost, and I'll tell you exact salary. I lost a principal that took a job in Tennessee 2 months ago who went from a principalship and took a $38,000 pay raise to be an assistant principal at a smaller school. So I'm going to tell you, if you think we can compete, and I had the privilege of when Corey came the other day of having a private discussion with him, and my comment was this: if you think when all our baby boomers retire that we're going to have the best and brightest, or we're going to be able to even have a warm body in there to teach your children, it's not going to happen when I'm losing teachers and principals and everyone else to the counties or the states all around us because we don't value education in North Carolina. So again, I want to encourage all of you as you keep supporting public schools, and I know there's a lot of groups in here that do that every day. I want to thank you for that support. Realize that a lot of us are getting very vocal now at the end of my career at this point, and I've been traveling for the last 2 weeks. I've had 1 day off. We've hit a lot of different places having discussions. I fired up my entire faith community. You know, I have 32 churches in the Tuckasegee Baptist Association. I feel 10 times more at home in the church than I ever did in the boardroom. So I've been asking for prayer, and there's a higher power out there that's going to end up delivering us all. But I ended up not only resonating with the churches in our community, they're all supporting the schools. So I'm hoping that through the grassroots efforts going on, especially by the organizations tonight, that we will make a difference and at least acknowledge that North Carolina loves their children, and we really want to do what's best for them. Thank you for giving me the time.